Good evening and welcome to the second round of the UK GT3 League, brought to you live on the Total Sim Sport YouTube and Twitch channel. I am James Parfitt, and shortly I will be joined by Cranleigh-Swash for tonight's action. The track tonight being the Hungaroring brought us some amazing racing, and last week and I'm expecting no different this evening. So let's bring in Sean. Sean, welcome to the show. Yeah, so last week we had the pros and elites showing us that passing is possible at the track. Can you tell us the difficulties that these drivers face tonight? Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one. So where do you think then on this very tight track that we're going to be looking at passing opportunities? Yeah, so while we've got 2 minutes, guys, let's run through the schedule for the AMs. So as we say, tonight we are at the Hungaroring. Then in 2 weeks' time, we are at Road America. That rounds out the racing for October. Then into November, we go on the 7th. It's the turn of the Nürburgring, followed by Suzuka on the 21st of November. And then finishing off the season at Mount Panorama on the 5th of December, where we will crown our 2021 Season 4 champion. Now, I believe we've got an announcement this week, Sean, from yourself. So let's take it away.
Big bit of news today that's come out of iRacing UK is Paul Busby, who's been an admin for almost a year now. iRacing UK, his birthday was actually on the 3rd of October. Paul was one of the first members. I think there was about 20 members when he turned up originally, and he was one of the first admins as well. He unfortunately has decided to step down from being an admin at iRacing UK. He'll still be involved. He'll still be racing in the GT3s, GT4 League. He'll stay a member, but he's letting go of all those admin duties. He's decided that he needs more time in his life for things he enjoys that aren't adminning a Discord. Just one thing I want to leave you with, because it's always worth a view. Let's take a look at a classic Busby moment.
Every time I watch it, it gets worse. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, dude. I actually genuinely feel terrible. Like, I can't even believe I just done that. Every time I watch it, it gets worse.
There we go.
A
What do you
classic
think of that?
Busby moment there, spinning, taking out basically half the field in front of him. That's absolutely epic. Well, we wish Paul all the luck from us at TSS there for his endeavours in the future. As I say, he still will be in the Discord. I'm sure he'll still be racing. He's just stepping back from his admin duties. Now, Sean, we got about a minute left of the warm-up. Why don't you take us through the starting grid for tonight's race?
Yep, just throwing it on screen now for us. Oh, we're starting in P7. Well, that's no good. Let me take it back to P1 because I don't think anyone will be happy if they're not seen at the front. There we go. So, qualifying. Stuart Brown, 1:43.03. That's about a second slower than the fastest lap we had last week in the elites. So, really only a second between the pros and the elites. Sorry, the amateurs and elites isn't that bad. Richard Jones, Liam Murray, Matthew Struthers and Gary Truby round out the top 5. With Alex Williams, Carl Cranswick, Joe Turner, Neil Smith and Stephen Hughes up to 10. 11th is Ollie Pimley and Rehan Atif, Samuel Hooper, Nick Alexander, Rob Windsor, Matty Wild, Stuart Williams, Robert York, and then the last few rows we have Anthony Franklin, Rob Armstrong, Ed Berry, Edmund Webb, Tom Farrell, and rounding us up at the back in his BMW is Alex Holloway.
Well, there you go, guys. So while we've got a minute while these guys grid, let's jump over to catch up with some of the chat. Nordic Racing just hosted a stream for 18 viewers. Thank you very much for that. Stuart B, can't believe this made it onto the stream. My life is now complete. There you go. Charlie Bev jumping in. Classic pinball pool moment. Yep, literally right the way through. Ha ha ha, he can't forget that one, says Damien. Well done. And amazing whoever thought to broadcast that. Well, Sean can take credit for that one because Sean's added it in. So yeah, so that was a Sean idea on that one. And Stuart Bear, never should I. I was watching him live that race. Never laughed so much in my life. I bet. And he got a ribbon on his chat. There you go. Go on, Gary P5. You can do it. Yes, Gary Truby in his Ferrari. Now we are coming round on to the pace lap as well. We're starting just before turn 12. Now, obviously, if anybody knows the Hungaroring in general, we don't have any fancy names for this track. It is literally turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, all the way through to turn 14. So yeah, so there you go. PS, the stream is really quiet. That is something we will look at in the background. Thank you 306 Rally for letting us know. As we come round now, we'll be heading round to turn 12. Down on the pace car, now we've got Stuart Brown, Richard Jones, Liam Murray up front at the moment. So we're slowly trickling around turn 13. And then we'll be heading round to the long right-hander that is 14, that you try and get on the gas as much as possible. But guys, round 2 of your AMs up at the Hungaroring is going to be green right now, and we've got Stuart Brown heading the field. Richard Jones, Liam Murray, Matthew Struthers, Gary Truby, Carl Cranswick is your top 5 as we head down the hill into the first corner. We're going to be braking very hard at the moment. We jump aboard with Neil Smith and we go back up into Matthew Struthers, the only Ford in the field, so he's going to be the fastest Ford of the evening. Now, Sean, that was a fairly clean start from these guys. I expected a little bit more possible chaos, to be honest.
They've gone through there really, really well. I'm really surprised actually. So the guys have been kind of mixing their practice between Road America and Hungaroring this week. So they've had to retain all that knowledge from this place and try road.
Matthew Struthers going straight the way. No, he almost done a pull buzz. Oh, he did. He collected. Unfortunately, we got car 304 involved as well. That's Neil Smith as he sits in the middle of the track just waiting for the cars to go past. That was an Paul Busby-esque moment there, going across and taking out your field backwards without much control. So we've got Stuart Brown, Richard Jones, Liam Murray and Gary Truby as we head down into turn 10 and 11. Now, yeah, it was we were just saying how nice and gentle the start was, and there, unfortunately, we had Matthew Struthers spinning across the tracks, Sean.
Yeah, if we take another look at that, he's done the classic thing that we saw happening last week. He's got over onto that curve, but it's just flung him sideways, really. Luckily, there's only a couple of cars that he made contact with. I do feel sorry for Neil there. He got hit in the front and the back.
Yeah, unfortunately, Neil Smith got caught up in the middle of that action, but all the while, we've got Ollie Pimley off in his 5th place, trying to catch up to the lead. We've got Edmund Webb at the back in his Mercedes at the moment. He is currently trying to go past the Ferrari of Tom Farrell down into turn 14. As we head down into the straight, we're going to be on full power as quickly as possible as we flick up through the gears all the way down. We're going to be holding on as much as possible. Joe Turner McMullen is currently in 7th place, sorry, with Rob Windsor behind in 10th. Rob takes and he's just made that place back going into the first corner as well. This is one of the things with these tracks. We were very doubtful coming here in these cars, because obviously we did say it was very tight last week. The passing's not always easily achieved, is it, at this circuit, really, Sean?
No. As I said at the beginning, it's all about forcing those guys around you into a mistake. As you can see them go 3 wide there, that could cause someone to come off track or to nudge someone else, and you'll make up a position there. As we've seen, I think it was Rob Armstrong going really wide.
Yeah, and unfortunately the turn has got that, well, somebody actually behind that was going Rob Armstrong was going very, very wide there. I'm probably guessing as we come into the tournament, there he goes, his back end just goes round, unfortunately. And there you go, Rob, unfortunately for you, so you have to join the back of the pack, and off you go. But that corner, oh, there's a double and a Ferrari. I think we had a Ferrari there. Involve Edward Berry. Oh, was that Matthew Struthers again in the Ford involved in that one?
The Ford looked like it was trying to mate with the Ferrari there.
Yeah, we've got Rob York involved as well, Tom Farrell, Edward Berry, and I think Matthew Struthers had a little bit of a, we just caught the end. Car 51 as well was involved coming across the track. That's Rob York. Unfortunately, Matthew and his Ford GT3 not doing ideal, unfortunately, this race. But we've got Liam Murray. He is currently in 3rd with Gary Truby tucked up behind him. We've got Stuart Brown, Richard Jones, Liam Murray, Gary Truby, Carl Cranswick, Ollie Pimley, Joe Turner McMullen, Alex Williams, Rob Windsor and Samuel Hooper. Now, obviously, from a driver's point of view, Sean, Matthew Struthers, is he now just going to need to settle his head down a bit? Because he's had a couple of accidents in the first few minutes and is seeming a little bit out of sorts.
Well, you know what it's like. The red mist does descend a bit. You've made a mistake of your own there, and he's probably trying to run all the way back up to where it was 5th or 3rd or something. He actually had a slight spin going into turn 1 on that lap as well, so that's looking down even more. So he just needs to get his head back on it and get some decent laps in now, I think.
Yeah, I think after that normally takes me 2 or 3 laps to calm myself down, because otherwise I end up just making more and more silly mistakes. But we have got Matthew Struthers and Stephen Hughes in the pits at the moment.
Just to break in there, Matthew Struthers just did a drive-through, so a little bit of context there. They are trialling today some live stewards, and it looks like Matthew may have been the first recipient of a steward decision there live in race on iRacing UK.
Well, there you go, guys. We've got live stewards this evening as well, so that's going to be an interesting development, and we'll see what actually happens there. We've got Alex Williams in his BMW, Rob Windsor behind us. We've got Joe Turner McMullen, in his Lambo up in front. As we head down onto the start-finish straight, we're going to be hitting the power as quickly as we can. We are going to be going up through 2nd, 3rd, 4th. We've got Rob Windsor tucked up right behind us. We're going to be looking in our right mirror there as we see him. He's going to be on our right-hand side as we look at the screen currently. We take the wide line, there he goes. Rob Windsor goes through into turn 1, and I believe there was a pass for Rehan as well. From 9th to 10th on Samuel Hooper. I believe he got through. Yes, he did, at the Ferrari on the right-hand side at the back of the screen there as we come down into turn. We're in turn 2 and turn 3. And there we go. We've got Rehan coming up onto the right-hand side of Samuel Hooper. Same pass as what we just seen. Took a leaf out of Rob Windsor's book and followed him through as we got a spinner on the right-hand side there. That's the BMW of car 99, Richard Jones. Unfortunately, that was just, well, That was a bit of a weird one, Sean, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, it's interesting about that corner because when you're actually coming down into the corner and it's the car just lifts up and there's a lot of weight off those back wheels. It's a front-heavy car anyway, the BMW, so there's just not enough traction for those rear wheels to get around and span.
My guy Sai, yes, Gary Truby is currently in second place at the moment behind Liam Murray. There he is on the screen as we look at it. We've got a 0.33 second gap. God, that was a mouthful. As we yeah, I can't do that one, mate, unfortunately. As we head round turn 14 down on the straight, we have got Stuart Brown has lost some positions as well.
He's making up a lot of spaces now. He's up 3 places from the start.
What has happened to Stuart? Was it leading? Oh, he's in the pits there. So that would be interesting to see. What happened to the leaders? My guy Sai says, well, we've got Liam Murray up there, Gary Truby. We're not sure what happened to Stuart Brown. As we jump on board with him now from the lead, he's hit the grass and he's gone round. And my guy Sai, you will ask and we will deliver. So there you go. That is what's happened to Stuart Brown. Unfortunately, now put him in the pits and he's currently down in 16th position. And now,
first.
Yeah, Liam Murray's up in first, Gary Truby in second, Carl Cranswick. Now, I believe, Sean, there was a little bit of a thing last week when Carl voted himself driver of the day. I'm not sure if that wasn't from me at Road Atlanta, and I don't think it was from any of the other 3. I guess Carl's just giving himself a title of driver of the day there.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if he can get it again, but for me, so far, driver of the day has to be this guy. He's up 9 places already. What are we in? We're just 8 minutes into the race.
Yeah, we've still got a long way to go. As you say, he's now up into 6th position at the moment, is Rob Windsor. So he's going to be running out. He's coming onto the back of Joe Turner McMullen as well. So that's going to be an even more interesting situation as we're coming down that little bit of a short straight between 11 and 12. We haven't got much room to get the job done, but we're going to be pushing as hard as we can. Coming into the tricky 12 section and round 13 and 14. 36 minutes to go, Sean. A lot of movers and shakers, a lot of action already. You know, are we settling in now or are we still going to be looking at trying to push him past as much as we can?
I think now, if you look at the gaps there, if you go past 12 places, there's a big gap between the drivers, as we've got a lot of guys recovering from either a little nick or a little bit of grass or a bit of damage. So I think what's going to happen is the guys aren't really going to be getting that close out the back, but down the front is all to play for.
Now, as we see Rob Windsor making Joe Turner known that he is there as well. 306 rally, what happened to Brown? Unfortunately, he had a spin and put himself off and he was into the pits on that one. So Stuart Brown is currently down in 20th position as we see Richard Jones now in the car 99 and Alex Williams in the 34 car. That's Richard Jones making the move up into 7th position. He's got the inside line. I think that's going to be the move done as we head into 6 and 7 there. Rob Windsor in his Ferrari still chasing down Joe Turner McMillan. We've still got Richard Jones now closing up on us. Rob needs to kind of get a shimmy on here, Sean. He's going to be bringing himself, unfortunately, up to Richard Jones if he doesn't get this move done on Joe Turner soon.
Yeah, the good thing about that Lambo is it's so good in these sorts of conditions where you've got the constant flowing corners. The Ferrari really does kill it on the straight though, so it's all about one for what I think will get this one done.
Yeah, as we head down into the little short section between 11 and 12, we're going to be taking our right-hander now as we go down, and we're going to be taking a left into 13. We have got Richard Jones now has closed up 0.4 seconds and closing on Rob Windsor. There's going to be some action down this straight, guys. You're not going to want to be going anywhere at this moment in time. Looking at the stream, we're going around 14. We've got Joe Turner, Rob Windsor, Richard Jones, and Alex Williams not too far behind us as we're heading on board with Richard Jones. We can see Rob Windsor in front of us. We're pulling that draft. We're edging that car forward as much as we possibly can. We're going to be looking and looking and looking and looking. And no, we are not going to be close enough coming into that first corner there. As we jump aboard with Neil Smith going round 13, coming into 14. What has Neil been doing? Unfortunately, there you go. Acceleration. Has he collected? No. Rob York goes past him there as well. Excellent. Well done, guys. Well driving. Unlucky Neil. That was He's not had a good race so far as old Neil Smith. He got caught up in there. Oh!
Yeah, that'll get him in trouble as well.
That's going to be a live steward. And as we said, guys, we've got a live steward in for tonight's race as well. So that's going to be an interesting one either. So there you go. Richard Jones coming up to the back of Rob Windsor, who's still coming up to the back of Joe Turner as we come into the chicane at 6 and 7. We're going to be going down into 8 as well. So there you go. Bob in YouTube, much appreciated for that comment. I'm sure we'll be looking at that technical issue right now as we proceed on from the race at the moment. Richard Jones, Rob Windsor, Joe Turner, McMullen heading down the little short section between 11 and 12, and we are going to be going as fast as we possibly can, guys. Oh, poor Neil 306 Rally Twitch chat. Yes, unfortunately, that was another incident that Neil Smith has been involved in this evening's race. We're heading round 13. We have still got Rob Windsor, Richard Jones, and Joe Turner less than a second. We've got Alex Williams closing up behind us as well. Richard's got to be getting edgy now there, Sean, isn't it? He's looking to get this move done on Rob before he ends up in the same situation Rob is with Alex Williams coming up behind him.
Yeah, it's a definite battle of 3 here, but it looks like Joe's slightly pulling away at the moment.
Yeah, Joe is opening up a little bit of a gap there. Richard Jones sticks his nose out. We've got a car on the inside, I believe. That is the recovering 80. Oh, Rob Windsor! Rob Windsor and Richard Jones come together. The Tom Farrell recovering car. Be interested to see how much that played a part in that unfortunate accident. That's dropped. Richard Jones down into 12th place. As we did say, from 12 onwards there was a gap, but I think he's got no bonnet. His car's looking a little bit untidy, and unfortunately there was a little bit of contact there. As we see Anthony Franklin, he's currently in the only McLaren in the field. He is in 17th position. We got Edmund Webb taking the inside of us as we go round into turn 2. And we got Rob York in front of us there. Can we see that accident again, do you think, there, Sean, with Richard and that coming down?
Yeah, let's take a look at the back of Tom Farrell's car and see what happened, because he should have an excellent view of this as he exits the pits. Here they come.
So as you see, got Joe Turner, Rob Williams. Rob Windsor, sorry, not Williams. Oh.
Yeah, so as you can see,
yeah.
Rob had to correct his steering down that corner. It was a bit heavy going towards the right. Just nudged into Jones, and then that was his race done, really.
Yeah, as we jump on board with Anthony Franklin, there's not a lot anybody can really do about that. Once you're sliding, you have no control of that car. As we see Alex Holloway in front there doing a fast and furious drift around the corner. As we're pushing up now, Anthony Franklin in the only McLaren with 0.61 seconds back. We've got Stuart Brown, 0.25. He's on a recovery from his earlier incident as well there, Sean. He's looking at making up. Truby's in the pits there as well. So are we 30 minutes to go? A little bit early, Sean?
A bit early for my thinking, but I can't see that anyone's passed him or anything like that, but we do have an incident here with Holloway as well.
Yeah, as you see Gary Truby there as well, and the car 57.
That's not them.
Oh, that's not him.
There we go.
There you go, there's Alex Holloway. Car 93 over that fateful drain that we've said so much about into that corner. Does he keep it? Oh, no. We don't just recover in that way.
I think it's a difficult one, because you should be able to see the cars coming, crashing and spinning as you come into those corners. There is time to slow down. As we saw in the first lap, everyone managed to slow down, and it was far too close. Maybe the drivers around him probably should be braking a little bit more than they were there. Be interested to see if the yellow flags are up for those drivers, whether the protests come in.
Oh, Stuart Brown there and Anthony Franklin trying to go too wide into turn 6 and 7, which is a job done. Stuart Brown, I think, as we head down into 8, going round into 9. We have got Alex Holloway right up behind us as well for the McLaren there, who's going to be looking both ways. He's just lost a position. It's possible he may lose another one as well. But we have got Stuart Brown. He's on a recovery, Sean, isn't he, at this moment in time?
Yeah, I mean, he's on his second recovery.
So he's on his second recovery, unfortunately for Stuart. It's minus 13 on his position, but we have got Joe Turner McMullen. He's in ninth at the moment. Neil Alexander in front of us. Stuart Williams in his Mercedes behind us. We're heading down into turn 2. Early stop, I think, for IR UK Dan. Early stop, Gary. Yes, I believe we are. That is where we are heading on that one. But we've also got Richard Jones is in the pits at the moment as well. So that's going to be an interesting. There's a lot of guys coming under this 30 minutes that are going to be looking, getting into their pit windows and taking their pit stops and out again as quickly as possible. This is the corner, guys. As you see on board there, that right-hand side with that curb and that little drop-off green is incredibly difficult because once you hit that, unfortunately, there is no recovery back there. You're just spinning yourself round, and it's really quite an horrendous corner if you get it wrong. But luckier for us, Stuart Williams got it absolutely spot on with Joe Turner in front of us in the Lambo. We've got 3 Lamborghinis in the top 10, 2 Ferraris, 2 BMWs, a Porsche, and Stuart Williams in his Mercedes. It's a good mix of cars this evening. We've kind of got all manufacturers, Sean, haven't we?
Oh, it's nice to see it. If you go into any official, pretty much stuck with 1 or 2 cars in the race. I mean, everyone does say, oh, great things about MCCs and all these cars, but if we're not using the 8 that we've been given in GT3 anyway, why should we deserve any more?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. We always demand more, don't we, as people who play the game, people who watch the game, people who commentate on the game. I think more is our philosophy. But as you say, if you're not using the ones you got, then they're not going to give us any more. As we can see down in front there as well, Stuart Williams is still pushing on the back of Joe Turner. I think that's Neil Alexander in the 23 car. That's not Neil Alexander. Where is that 23? Who's that in front? Well, Matthew Struthers there having another incident.
I would say this Ford is done. I would say. I don't know if you noticed how he was grabbing along there, around the 2 corners on that little straight. I think that's going to get parked pretty soon. There we go.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Matthews, the only Ford in the field and was flying the flag high until we've had a few little incidents and possibly the 2 cars trying to get together really closely than they didn't need to be. But we have got Richard Jones, Matty Wild heading down into turn 1. They're going to be on the gas as soon as they can. Richard is also on his recovery. He's very quick in that BMW, so this is going to be interesting. We see him on the left. He's gone up the inside of Matty Wild. Is he going to make this move stick? Because Matty Wild has got the inside line into the next corner, but I think Richard Jones, as we know with a BMW, does have a lot more curb control. That car can eat curbs like they're Jaffa cakes, everybody. But we are heading round now into the tricky corner that he has made stick there, I believe. Richard Jones up in front is now on his boots, and he's going to be trying to catch up with Alex Holloway. We've got Edmund Webb there, back trying to hold it on to Gary Truby, coming down into 13, aren't we, at the moment? That's Gary coming out the pits there. Somebody said in Twitch chat, it seemed to work last week with opposing elites, didn't it?
It did work last week, but the guys that did it managed to find their way out into a lot of fresh air. As we can see, Gary's now being held up. So, I mean, you're not really going to save a huge amount of time. It's all about traffic management. Coming out in a position like this, it kind of ruins that early stop anyway.
Yeah, so let's just see how quickly Gary can dispatch of Edmund Webb and try and get into the free air that he so desperately needs after stopping so early. He's got to get past his car at this moment in time. He's got to be getting him in and down into the corner if he can. As we go, see Gary sticking his nose out. He's letting Edmund know he's there, but unfortunately we are not close enough coming down into turn 1. There is plenty of space. There we go. See Edmund run wide, and Gary Truby's free and absolutely able now to get jump back all on his pace that he committed, those we've seen from Gary so far in practice and qualifying. Edmund facilitated that move somewhat there, Sean, didn't he? I think by running wide didn't really help himself.
Yeah, totally. I don't think Gary was really expecting it as well. He ran wide himself, and as you can see, we've now got a train of 3 here with who was that? That's Franklin, I think, behind. Well, no, it's Brown. Apologies.
Yeah, there's Stuart Brown there now behind Edmund Webb as well. He's going to be needed to get past as soon as possible. Gary Truby is now on his boots, on his bike. He's got a second up the road already, trying to clear him. Doesn't get a clean run through that chicane at the as you see him in front. With Stuart Brown climbing all over the back of Edmund Webb coming into turn 8 and turn 9. As I say, guys, there's no fancy names with this. It's straight 1 to 14, so we'll call it as we see it. It's going to be interesting now. Stuart Brown's really got to try and dispatch Edmund Webb as quickly as possible to make any form of grounds here, Sean. What?
Here he goes.
Well, yes, he takes the screen. Edmund on our right, Stuart on our left. As we're coming down, that's not gonna go down into 12, 13. Stuart's got to just try and stay calm, hasn't he? Because that move alone in 12 is not going to make him happy. But he's just got to try and keep his head, hasn't he? Oh, well, he's heading into the pits there. So I guess he's figured. I think that's that undercut that we've talked about so many times. If you're stuck behind people, there's not much point trying to carry on racing them. You might as well get your pit stop out of the way and hopefully come out in some clean air there, Sean.
Yeah, I think if the pit window's open, then it's the sensible thing to do, because it was clear that the Emirates was going to end up slowing him down. That was a particularly aggressive defence into that corner. It didn't look like it was only one. So that'd be down to driver's discretion, I think, something like that.
Yes, we can see Matty Wild now up the back of Alex Holloway coming down into turn 1. We've got Rob Armstrong in the Mercedes. He's on his recovery as well from his spin earlier on, hitting the curb at turn 8, I believe it is, as it come round on the left-hander. That fateful curb where you have the drain and the drop-off on the right-hand side, and once you hit it, unfortunately, there's just no recovery there. My guy, Si, any idea how long the pit stop is? Well, we're looking at the moment, if we can see from Richard Jones, is 42 seconds pit lane, pit stop time 11. So pit lane time 42, pit stop time 11. But we have started some very big variances on there as well with Gary Truby's. Unfortunately, he's done a little bit longer, so it's going to be interesting. But Truby did stop earlier, so I hope that helps you out there.
11's really quick. We were seeing guys as slow as 30 last week.
Yeah, I just say Gary did stop really early though, didn't he, for that one? So his pit stop time is 22. But as you say, that should now hopefully keep him going until the end of the race. We've got Matty Wild climbing all over the back of Alex Holloway. And these guys, considering we're down in 17 and 16 with these, Sean, and they're not really, as I say, they're not taking it easy, are they? They're still going for it.
Well, wouldn't you? If you're racing as they've nudged each other there, wouldn't you though, James?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you're racing for, it's all about racing at the end of the day. These guys are here to race each other. It doesn't matter whether you're first or 13th, in this case 18th.
Yeah. To be honest, I completely agree with you on that one. I probably would be doing the same. I don't know, as I say, I'm not an aggressive driver, Sean. I'm quite a plateau driver, as we see Rob Armstrong pull out as he tucked up behind Alex Holloway. Alex Holloway has lost the position to Matty Wild there, going into turn, and he's going to come through. Rob's going to come through into turn 2 as well. Bad corner for Alex Holloway. Has lost 2 positions, and I think that's more of my driving style, that Alex Holloway driving style. He lost a line, he let him go through. Unfortunately, lost 2 positions. But in my head, Sean, see, I lived to fight another day for 20 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's fair. I mean, you're always going to know your own pace, and particularly with leagues, you know who around you is going to be faster or slower than you. So it's easier to manage those overtakes in your own mind, and you can say, yes, I understand this guy's going to be faster than me. Maybe I can let him through and it'll save my race because I'll be able to keep pace with him, possibly being in front. I just want to take us over to Tom Farrell. He's just had a bad lap or 2, so let's take a look at the replay and see what happened to him.
As we see Tom coming into turn 2. As he goes round, he takes, Tom, curb, grass. Not a good mix in that Ferrari there, Sean, is it?
No. When I first started racing this track, I kept doing that first couple of laps out on that curb across the grass all the time. It's difficult in turn 2 because you get the exit. You want to put the foot down really early. You just have to wait until that curb comes to you.
Yeah, as we can still see Rob Armstrong around turn 14 up behind the back of Matty Wild. They're in identical cars, so that's going to be interesting. Joe Turner is in 8th position at the moment. He started 8th, finished. He's still in 8th, and he hasn't made up any positions. But we do have Stuart Williams in the Mercedes and Nick Alexander in front of us at the moment. We have got about a second with us in the middle from the guys in front to the guy behind. So it's going to be an interesting battle as we're coming into the chicane at 6 and 7. We're going to be heading out into turn 8, round turn 9 very shortly. There you go. Different lines, Sean. We mentioned this last week, didn't we? There's a lot of different lines that the drivers were taking last week, and we seem to be seeing the same thing again this week.
Yeah, I think it comes down to how you've practiced in the car. It's one of those things when you're learning to practice a track. Not every single line is going to be optimum for everyone. I think that's what we can see here. Particularly the guys going into turn 1. They seem to have 3 or 4 different lines. Same with the final turn as well, 3 or 4 different lines. But it might work for you in your setup.
Yeah, so we can see them coming round turn 14. Joe Turner, Stuart Williams, and Nick Alexander there. We are coming on the back of Joe Turner now. We can see Nick Alexander. We've had a faster exit out of turn 14. We are tucked up behind him now, slipstream 0.34 and closing rapidly. We stick our nose out. He lets him know that he's there. He's there. Nick, I'm still here. And unfortunately, we are not quite close enough. Stuart Williams in his Audi there is still close up to 0.57 seconds. As we jump back on board with Edmund Webb, he's got Rob Windsor in front of him now. And again, this is the same scenario we've just seen with the 2 cars with 0.5 back, and we are closing. But as you see, I don't think unless you're under 0.2 and below, you're going to be getting this move done. It's more of a stick and follow Rob through turn 1 and out down into 2 at this moment in time. 17 minutes to go. We'll give you a quick top 10 at this moment. Liam Murray is in first, Carl Cranswick second, Ollie Pimley in third, Alex Williams in fourth, Raheen is in fifth, Samuel Hooper sixth, Nick Alexander seventh, Joe Turner in eighth, and Stuart Williams in ninth. Now, I think we're going to be coming into this stage now, Sean, where these drivers are really sort of, you're 17 minutes in, you've been going hell to leather for the first 30 minutes of it. Are we going to be struggling from tiredness? Are we going to be struggling from concentration levels, or do you think we can maintain that for these last 16 minutes?
I think we might be in the commentary box after our 6 hour yesterday,
Yes.
No, these guys will be fine. It's about the same as a VRS sprint. They've all done loads and loads of those. It's not particularly taxing. No tyre changes, very little fuel in at the stop. The only problem is this track is non-stop. There's only one place really where you can actually relax, being the start-finish straight. While we're on this battle, James, Rob has stopped, but Edmund hasn't yet.
So there we go. So expecting Edmund to be coming in. We've got 16 minutes remaining. It's not going to be long, if at all, on this lap. It might be on the next one. My guy, Cy Gary, getting caught there too as well. Yeah, it's all looking a bit tight there for Gary Truby. Hasn't really worked out. He's going to move up another position, I would have thought, as well, as he heads down the start-finish straight. Does go up into 10th at the moment, obviously after his early stop. Edmund Webb still going round as well. Joe Turner is in the pits at the moment. Tom Farrell is still in the pits, and we have been for about 4.5 minutes. But there's Liam Murray, not really mention him. He's stayed fairly clean, and I think that was the philosophy he said at the beginning, Sean, wasn't it? Whoever stays clean, keeps it on track, will be we're in a good place come the end of the race. Yeah, so we got people who have pit stop at the moment. Obviously, see Liam in the pits at the moment. Carl Cranswick's not stopped. Ollie Pimley, Alex, Raheen, Samuel, Nick Alexander, Stuart Williams, and Edward Berry has also not stopped either. And further down, we've got Edmund Webb, Anthony Franklin hasn't stopped, and Alex Holloway as well. So we are on board. We've still got Matty Wild behind us if we are Rob Armstrong. We are running into the stages of frustration. We've been stuck behind this car for a good few laps now as we're heading down 12 into 13, coming through 14. And this is the replay of Joe Turner. What have you been up to at 6 and 7? Bounces across the curb, on the grass. Ooh. Now, Sean, question. Yeah, he's like, is he lucky? Because we've all done that, haven't we? And we've ended up spinning round and round and round in circles. Yeah, so as we see now, we've got Stuart Williams in the pits, Edward Berry, Edmund Webb as well. They're all in the pits as well. I think Stuart and Edward is on their way out. But we have got the Rob Armstrong, Matty Wild battle at the moment live on your screen. Rob coming down the start-finish straight, still tucked up by the same car in front. And I think he's still going to be stuck there, but going into turn 1 at this moment in time. Rob in the 666 car there as well, a sign of the devil. He's on the prowl at the moment, but is he going to get the final kill as we come into turn 2 through Matty Wild? 13 minutes to go. We've got Carl Cranswick has entered into the pits. So this is going to be vital for Carl at the moment. Did he get the in-lap he so desperately needs? So we will be seeing there as well from the pits. Liam Murray is 13 seconds. He's in and out. 13 minutes to go. We've got Carl Cranswick still in the pits at the moment. We have got Liam Murray, turned 7. He's coming round 13 as we speak at the moment as well. So he's round 13. We're crawling, waiting and applying the gas as soon as we can. I don't think, Sean, this is job done for Liam. I think Carl's going to be holding. Carl's coming out, isn't he?
There's Carl.
There is Carl heading out the pits. Are we going to see? There's Liam Murray. Carl's jumped him in the pits there. Absolutely outstanding drive from you, Carl, driver of the day. Cranswick, congratulations. You are now leading the race with 12 minutes to go. Alex Williams, Raheen is still in the pits. Samuel Hooper is still in the pits. Nick Alexander is in the pits. Gary Truby is back up to 4th. So that was his pit entrance position, I believe, Sean, as well. Wasn't it the 4th place? I think he took the early stop.
Yeah, so he's up 1 from his grid position as well. So it's a positive game. What else do you ask for?
Yeah, but unfortunately for Gary, we have got Rob Windsor tucked up right behind us. We've got Ollie Pimley 7 seconds up the road at the moment. We've got Rob Windsor, who's only 1 second behind us. And here we go in still. Poor Rob Armstrong is the frustration. The red mist is still stuck behind Matty Wild. But this is excellent driving from Matty Wild to keep Rob behind. And this is the thing. We've got 11 minutes. If Rob physically can't get past Matty, is he going to be making these silly dives that we've seen so often? Or do you think he's going to be holding and waiting for a clear overtaking opportunity as we see him trying to go around the outside there, Sean?
I think Rob will be a bit more sensible than that. I would hope that he'd just apply the pressure gently, and hope for mistake in front.
Yeah, so Rob Windsor has gone into the pits at 306. He is gone and he is out. He's currently in 5th position. So we still, Rob Armstrong coming round 13. Go round 12, sorry. And we're still off again. And I think this is really the frustrating thing. When you're stuck behind a driver, how do you not... Have you got any idea how you would not get frustrated? Because I get extremely frustrated when I can't get past somebody. But how do these guys stay cooler than, say, me or you, Sean?
Well, from my point of view, I'll be looking to frustrate the driver in front of me. I'll be putting all sorts of fake moves where I can as he's gone to the bits there to try and keep him on edge, keep him guessing as to where I'm going to be. Because when it comes to defending the line, if he doesn't know where I'm going to be, it makes it a lot harder for him to save that space.
Yeah, as you see, Anthony Franklin and Matty Wild is in the pits. And Liam Murray up into 2nd place. It is 1.11 seconds, 1.1 seconds now to Carl Cranswick in front of him at the moment.
Yeah, they're going to be in contact very soon, James. They took almost a second out of him in the last lap, and it looks like he's on for the same again. He's down to 9/10ths, so this will be a matter of time until they start fighting. A big Hungaroring. My money's on Carl keeping this position.
9 minutes to go.
Yep, 9 minutes to go.
Okay, guys, so Sean has called it. He's got Carl sticking with this position. I'm not so sure. I've got to be honest. Liam Murray does look exceedingly quick, has pulled time out of him, and is still closing that gap up as well. We're going to be heading down into turn 14, and then round 14 into turn 1. And it's going to be interesting to see what these guys do. 9 minutes to go. Just like we've got Rob Windsor and Gary Truby. I think the only little battle, the only person who's not in a battle at this moment in time is Ollie Pimley. He's got 8 seconds and 10 in front. He's just driving around on his own down into the start-finish, just straight there. Now, we've got 1 and 2 in a battle. 3's on his own. 4 and 5's in a battle. 6 is being closed up by 7. 8th for 9th, which is Raheen and Samuel were close together. 10th seems to be in a little bit of a pocket on his own as well. And then we've got 11, 12 and 13 are right together. So it's going to be an interesting 8 minutes, guys. If you are not sitting comfortably, you should be, because you're grabbing the popcorn, getting a drink. Poor old Neil Smith caught that. Oh, did he hold it?
I think that was the case of he hit the curbs. You don't want to be breaking on the curbs, and then the corner came up a bit too soon.
No, I was going to say well done, Neil, for holding it there, because I thought he was going to hold it all the way through until the second part of the replay, where Neil Smith has had a very eventful evening. Now, this is the one you see, Sean, we're down 0.5. He took another 0.5 off him in the last lap. 145.4 for Carl and 145.1 for Liam Murray. I think, Sean, I can't see him holding this position. I'm very doubtful that Carl's going to be able to defend this.
He will do. I'm confident he will. It's a tough track to pass on. You've really got to be a lot faster. They're both proportional, so he's going to have to really push it into T1.
So we've been asking chat any idea what the incident counts are. Unfortunately, we haven't at the moment.
No, the only person that knows their incident counts are the drivers.
Yeah, that's something we're not privy to, my guys. Unfortunately. So that's the way we like it as well. As we come down now, we've got Carl Cranswick in front of Liam Murray, 0.43, and we are closing at a rapid pace, 0.3736, and we are going now into turn one. I am struggling, Sean, to agree, but we've got Stuart Williams out on the fateful curb. He's managed to hold the curb. Did he lose it in a Neil Smith fashion into the next corner? No. Passing. Yeah, and I think that's what we're going to be hoping for. Edmund there gets past Alex Holloway as well. So that's a job done for you. So you're now up into 17th place. Neil Smith coming out of the pits there, Carl, number 304. Down into turn... No, Neil. No. Oh, there you go. On board. Carl Cranswick, Liam Murray, turn 2 at this moment. Oh, nope. We've flicked out now. We're in 5 and 6. Coming down into 8. It was like time travel all over again, Sean. We shot from turn 2 to turn 6 in a matter of sort of split seconds. But this is, I think now, do you think Carl's going to be feeling the pressure, Sean? Do you think, we've got Liam tucked up behind us. We can see he's quicker than us. Is he going to be feeling the pressure, or do you think he's just going to need to settle down, take his line, and see what he can do for the last 6 minutes?
Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to be feeling the pressure. Hopefully he's driven this track enough now to be confident that he knows when people can attack and where they can't. Now, the great thing is that when you realise where those chances are, when people can overtake and cannot overtake, you can be a lot more relaxed about your driving, because you know you can give up a little bit of time here and there if necessary just to get the car around.
As we see him coming down the start-finish straight, just over 5 minutes remaining, which is going to give us about another probably 2, maybe 3 laps before we go into the white flag there, guys. Liam Murray has really got to try and put Carl under pressure as we come round turn 1, heading down into turn 2. As I say, the little pockets are sitting of traffic now as we go on board. Richard Jones there in the car 99. He's got Alex Williams in front of him. Richard Jones pulls out on the right-hand side, and I think that is job done before we even hit into the braking zone of 1, and that is it done. Well done, Richard Jones. Rob Windsor 2 seconds up the road in the green. As you can see him there, we've got 1 and 2 battling, 3 on our own, 4 and 5 heading round 2. Now they're really close together, which is Gary Truby, Rob Windsor, and then we got this battle of Richard Jones and Alex Williams. 4.5 minutes to go, Sean. Are you still predicting a Carl Cranswick driver of the day win?
Yes, I am. Whether we get driver of the day or not, I don't know. Rob Windsor's up 10 places.
Yeah, but this is it. We are coming round 12. We have got 4.5 minutes remaining. We are looking on with Carl, who's got Liam Murray tucked right up behind us. Let us know in chat, guys, who your predictions are. Hashtag Carl Cranswick, hashtag Liam Murray. Let's see where we can go with 4 minutes to go. Heading round 12, coming down into the 13, 14. There you go. We've got them tucked right up behind us. Carl Cranswick is still in the front. We are 0.42. We are coming up into turn 14 at this moment. And then we are going back down onto the start-finish straight. It seems like Carl is a little bit quicker than Liam Murray round that turn 13, 14, which is just leaving Liam a little bit far back, Sean, going down the straight.
Yeah, oh, definitely. It's one of those things, because because the shape of those corners, the car in front is able to dictate when the two cars in the straight get on the power, because the car behind isn't going to be able to go until the one in front goes. So it's like imagine like a rolling start, similar sort of thing, but every single time around you can control the exit of that corner, and particularly for the start-finish straight, which is where Liam really needs to get in. Really helps Carl keep that lead. One thing I've noticed as well is car 666 Rob Armstrong. He did a 5-second box time in his pit stop first time around. He's had to box again in the last lap. He's done another 6 seconds, so I think that's a splash and dash for Rob, and that's seen him fall down to 14th now.
No, so unfortunately he's dropped all the way down the field from 14th position. We've still got this battle in Twitch chat. Carl's got this. Maybe Rob W for driver of the day for sure, says Anstis. Well, you never know. We never really invented driver of the day until I think Sean Carl Cranswick gave it to himself, didn't he? I think we hadn't really thought of driver of the day before that.
No, and maybe we should give it to Carl for that reason.
Yeah, Carl Cranswick, self-proclaimed driver of the day from Road Atlanta. As I say, it's not something us on the broadcast team have thought about issuing, but, you know, let's get names in chat, guys, and see who you think. As we say, Rob Windsor is up a massive 10 positions at the moment. Car number 812. Still got Gary Truby, though. So, you know, Gary Truby's there or thereabouts. He took the early pit stop. Hasn't really benefited him, but he hasn't really lost out either. So, you know, I think Gary's still in a good position because he's just far ahead of Rob, isn't he? And unfortunately, Rob's got Richard Jones bearing down in him at the moment. 2 minutes to go, and it's going to be a spicy 2 minutes, guys. So make sure you've, you're buckled in and you got your drinks, because you're not going to want to miss this last 1.5 minutes as we go round. Top driver day, Rob W, Carl K, or Ed Berry. There you go. Let's just see what happens on this one. We're pushing down with Rob Windsor. We're not really making much difference to Gary Truby. However, Richard Jones is making a big difference to us as we go on board now. Back up front with Carl Cranswick. We're still in that position. I think Liam's a little bit further back now, Sean, with 1.5 minutes to go. And that's not really where he wants to be, is it?
As I said, this is Carl's to win. As it's just so difficult to pass here, and Carl is pulling out that gap on the straight. Let's have a look and see what's going on with Alex Holloway. He's fields.
As we come down into turn 2, it's that very... we mount the curb, and unfortunately oh yes, grass curb BMW unfortunately does not mix. We did, however, avoid the leaders, so that's always a good thing from Alex Holloway there. Did manage to stay out of the way. That could have been chaotic for these two as we come under 46 seconds remaining. I think they're going to get this one more lap in before the end there. Stuart Brown has been on
I mentioned Ed Berry in chat a second ago, and here he is in the red car.
Yeah, we've got Stuart Brown's going round the outside into turn 1. Is Ed Berry going to hold it? Going into 2, he's got the outside line. He's on the left as you look at the screen. And I think this is going to be Stuart Brown's position. Ed's hanging in there. He's hanging in there. He's still hanging in there. As we're going down into 3, we're still... No, and there you go. That's Stuart Brown clear. But that was a nice little good effort from Ed. So that's well done to you, young sir. So we've got Rob Windsor, Richard Jones down the straight. Yeah, white flag lap now we're on at the moment. There you can see the flag man bearing down with Richard Jones taking the inside line on Rob Windsor. That was a late lunge. Are they going to be able to hold it together? We've seen this before, guys, into this corner with the same two drivers, and it didn't turn out well. We're heading down into 2. Rob on our right and Richard on our left, sorry, and Rob on our right as we go down into 2. Richard's got the inside line into 3, and I think that is him passed on the white flag lap. Unlucky for you, Rob Windsor. You're the 9+9 positions for the day, though, so congratulations on that one. Let's see if Richard Jones can stay safe. He's just jumped on board. Carl Cranswick now. We are going down 10. We've got 11, 12, 13, and 14 to go. King Driver of the Day, King Carl Driver of the Day is in Twitch chat at this moment in time. Well, let's see what's happened as well. My guy Si, let's see the leaders. We will deliver, and we have done. We're coming down into 12. We're going to be down into 13. We're going to be hard on the brakes. This is it now, Liam. This is it. I don't think you're going to make this. I think this is going to be Carl Cranswick's win. for the Season 4 Round 2 opener at the Hungaroring. We're on the gas. There's nothing Liam can do now, and that is it. Carl Cranswick crumbs across the line in the lead, 0.5 seconds back from Liam Murray. Congratulations to you, sir. And as we see, Ollie Pimley's had a bit of a lonely race this evening. He's been driving around in third place with gaps all around him, and he's quite happily going on his own. Gary Truby comes round in a magnificent fourth place. Richard Jones, as you see the pass on Rob Windsor there on the last lap, that's fourth, fifth and sixth. Alex Williams has come round in seventh. Raheen is in eighth. Oh, there's Samuel Hooper. Can we go back a car, please? So there you go. As we jump aboard, Samuel Hooper crosses the line. But Stuart Williams, Nick Alexander. Oh,
That was a back marker, James.
Oh, blimey, sure. I lost where I was there. I thought it was going to be a last corner rundown, as we saw in the last week's race as well. So there you go. And there is Ed Berry at number 13 as well. So he's in 13th position. Rob Armstrong coming around in 14th as well. And then he's going to be across the field. So we've got 14, 15, 16 and 17 to go. Well done, Rob. Unfortunately, a double pit stop cost him tonight, Sean, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. He was doing well. He was up 7 or 8 spots as well when he went in for his stop.
Yeah, there you go. There's Anthony Franklin crossing the line. Matty Wild behind him in his Mercedes. He's crossed the line. Edmund Webb is heading round the last corner now as well. So there you go, guys. That will be rounding us out. Edmund Webb at the back. We'll have the full standings once Alex Holloway has crossed over. And that is it, I believe, Sean. I don't think there's anybody else. Now, that wasn't quite as eventful as we were expecting, I think, Sean. I think that was quite a nice race, I guess, from these guys. I mean, there was a lot of solo spins, but I don't think there was a lot of massive contact as we expected.
No, there wasn't, and it was good. It was clean. The drain caught a few people out again, as we expected. Was it turn 3? The exit there caught a couple people out. I was very pleased with what I saw today, to be completely honest. It was a nice, tidy race, a lot of good racing, a lot of good passing, more than I thought there would be. And looks like we've got another different winner for the AMs this season.
Yeah, it's to see at the moment, Sean, as well. Let's have a look, if we can, at the leaderboard. And we'll see where we're at. As you see, in first place, you've got Carl Cranswick. Second place, Liam Murray. Third was Ollie Pimley. Very lonely race tonight for you, sir, but well done for keeping it on track in third. Gary Truby, Richard Jones, Rob Windsor in fifth, fourth, fifth and sixth, respectively. Alex Williams, Raheen in eighth, Samuel Hooper in ninth, Stuart Williams in 10th. Nick Alexander, Stuart Brown, Edwin Berry, 11, 12, 13. Rob Armstrong, 14. Anthony Franklin, 15. Matty Wild, 16. Edmund Webb, 17. Alex Holloway in 18th position there. So there you go. And then are we going down even further than that? Or was that, did we have 18?
We did have a couple more.
Yeah, there you go. Joe Turner, 19th. Neil Smith, a very eventful 20th position. Tom Farrell in 21st, Rob York in 22nd, Matthew Struthers, as we see, had an absolutely horrendous race in his Ford this evening, and Steve Hughes, in his Lamborghini Hurricane down in 24th. So have we got an up-to-date standing, Sean, that we can have a look at the moment? As you can see, at this moment in time, we have got King Carl, driver of the day, Cranswick, up in first position, Richard Jones in second, Stuart Brown in third, Gary Truby in fourth, Rob Windsor is in fifth, Samuel Hooper sixth, Raheen is in seventh, Rob Armstrong eighth, Liam Murray ninth, Nick Alexander rounds out our top 10. Now, are we going to pick a driver of the day, or do you think that's a Rob Windsor win right over already, Sean?
Well, I don't know. It's a tough one because Rob, even though he did make up those 9 spaces, he did fall back a couple of spaces at the end. But Carl managed to withhold that pressure all the way through from the pit stop to the end. So really, James, what do you reckon? It's between Carl and Rob.
Yeah, help me out, chat. Which way are we going to go with this? If I give it to the self-proclaimed driver of the day in Road Atlanta, is it going to be looking at it as I've taken favouritism and given it to him again? But I've been in his position of withstanding pressure with Liam Murray right up behind him. So I think this week, I think Carl Cranswick will take the driver of the day on merit. I think he did exceptionally well. Managed to hold on to the positions. He was still, we had 9 minutes left, I think it was, Sean, wasn't he, with Liam Murray tucked up behind us. So I think, Carl Cranswick, this week, driver of the day. So that rounds up our evening of GT3 AM racing, guys. So what have we got coming up this week? Well, folks, this is going to be an absolutely epic week. You are not going to want to miss any of this. On Tuesday, we have the IRUK F3s, and they are at Hockenheim, and the broadcast will be live at 9:05 p.m. on the TSS YouTube and Twitch channels. Then on Thursday, we have the European Sprint Series live from the Hockenheim ring. Now, we've had some absolutely, truly epic races over the last few weeks, so you are not going to want to miss that. That is at 10 p.m. BST on the TSS YouTube channel. Now, on Saturday, we here at TSS have got the FTR 4-hour endurance event. Now, that's from a circuit I haven't really visited. That's from Circuit Zolder, and that will be starting at 4 o'clock BST time on Saturday on the TSS YouTube and Twitch channels, if I'm not mistaken, Sean. So, sum up this evening, Sean, if you can, in a sentence.
Thrilling. It was thrilling. That's a couple more words than I thought I'd have to give, considering yesterday everyone was going for one word. But there you go, a couple of sentences for you.
Well, there you go, guys. So, all that's left to say is thank you to you all in Twitch chat for jumping in and joining us in for this evening. And all that's left to say is from me, Sean, good night, take care, and we might see you on the track sometime.